Welcome to Weaving New Paths, Conversations with Visionaries. I'm your host, Grandmother Sharon Raji Maynard. Each week, we sit with individuals who followed a calling, who turned idea into healing, creativity, and change. Their stories remind us that every dream matters. You matter. And that new pathways are being woven every day. Thank you for joining us. Let's step into today's conversation. Hello, listeners. This is Weaving New Paths, a podcast of voices that remember that creation begins with a whisper. I'm Sharon Raji Maynard, holding conversations with those turning life experiences into soul wisdom and new pathways for themselves, those that they love, and humanity. And today I'm sitting with Kris Brown to hear her story, the story that wants to bubble up for you. We are sitting trusting the deeper connections between all life. We listen to words, we sit in silence when it beckons, because this is a powerful place to be. Weaving new often comes from being together differently, getting beyond what has kept us locked. But we're here to be reminded that every dream of integrity will change the fabric of life. So, Kris, thanks for being with me here today. Glad to have you.
Thank you for seeing, hearing, and feeling value added in my voice and opening up this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think that that's a very important part of what we as women are here to unlock again, that we see each other, we hear each other, we value each other. So, okay, we usually begin, not in this podcast, but in all conversations, we often begin at some point in the past. And those points in the past are often common to many. Sometimes they are points of feeling stuck or in pain. So maybe that's a place to just at least speak of. So what was that for you?
Well, it was and continues to be actually a journey. I experienced a horrific childhood. And now my life really isn't about what happened with or to me. It's about what survived in me and what am I going to do about that? What am I going to do with it? What am I going to decide stays and goes? So the beginning of my life was all about adapting, learning to survive. Adaptation was very important. Um, yeah. So I learned a lot, but adapting is where the journey started. And now it's shifting to me becoming more authentic, more of who I'm remembering my soul to be. So yeah, it's a life that's shifted intentionally. Moving from living the expectations of other people, um, into becoming a presence of sovereignty, of something I live, not something I gain. Like sovereignty is something I claim as me, as how I'm going to walk. Um, hmm. There was many years of my childhood of becoming what I needed to be. And so some of those aspects survived and are still with me. So it's clearing, gaining clarity about what those aspects are bringing to my life still as they bubble up when they do.
Mhm.
And then choosing, well, sitting with them, loving them, and then choosing how I'm going to move forward and what I'm bringing with me. Mm, there's this, what's coming in now is like the sense of belonging. You did so well at the sense of belonging. Well, but I lost myself. I lost myself in adapting to belong, to be how others wanted me to be. Oh, the childhood left me with no authority of my own will. I was waiting to be told what to do. I was waiting to react, to know what to do, when to jump, um, and ease the other person's reactions. That ain't mine no more. That's not my vision. That's not what I'm holding for myself.
It occurs to me that what you're speaking of is a very common experience for individuals, and it didn't begin in this lifetime. Our mothers, grandmothers, great fathers, grandfathers, back. How long have we as souls in our earth suit really been living in survival? And like you say, when you're young, what power do you have? The healthy thing is to survive in whatever way you have to survive. And it, it, if we stay in that disempowered state, we continue to live a life according to somebody else's idea. And it takes awareness, and sometimes it takes anger, and sometimes, but it takes a lot of courage and commitment to be able to say, wait, wait, do I want to still survive model and be victim? Because we live a victim when we are surviving, and it's not bad at all. It is how we had to survive and be able to shift from that victim and then the anger and then the limit to be able to say, we often have to say, who am I? And take responsibility, awareness, and work. What happened? Was there an event that happened that you went, whoa, wait?
There are several events where I wish I would have said, well, wait. Um, not, there wasn't really one event that said enough, enough of not knowing who you are, enough of not being confident, enough of living for somebody else. There was just, hmm, well, mold is coming in.
Mm.
The essence of mold was a great teacher in showing me that in one point of my life, within the last 10 years, I believe, maybe 15, I was just waiting to die.
Mm.
This, why am I here? I don't want to be here. All the crap that happened. I was angry and deservingly so, but that's not who I want to be. That's not what made me happy. That's not what made me want to even live. I'm just like, okay, someday I'm gonna die. Hurry it on up. Mold came into my life in the way where I guess it does sometimes. We didn't have a furnace trying to get it fixed, and then a big freeze came, and then your furnace is not only to help keep you warm, it provides moving, circulating air in your home. And so without that, black mold grew in 2 of our rooms. Working with companies that I didn't know, they didn't know what they were doing, but they said, go ahead and sleep there. Go ahead. Anyway, I was exposed to black mold and it woke me up to, I really didn't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
It woke me up to, okay, well, then uh, looks like you're going to start making some choices. And there's some aspect that's still in me that says, oh, we have to do all the work. I always have to do all the work. Well, or we can leave it up to somebody else. That's the option. And we've done that. And so thank you to the essence of mold for showing me and having me feel that, oh, I do want to live and I want to live differently. Don't know what that looks like, but that's when I started talking back to my mind and saying, well, mind, we're doing it different this time.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it different this time. So when patterns would come, I'd be like, no, stop. This feels like what we're not wanting to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And just the pause, just stopping that thought was powerful and allowed something else in me to have that space, to hold that space within me, to say, oh, maybe this is what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, not really a triggering, activating event, although mold is coming in to say, I activated you. Yes, I did.
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you speak of saying to mind, because I think that that consciousness that we are is all about a lot of stories, which is what held in what we would call mind for sure. And those stories run themselves, and they're stories that have helped us survive. And I kind of like how you said, wait, to the mind. Here's the you had a situation come up. Here's the mind, and you said to the mind, we're not doing it that way anymore. I don't know how we're doing it, but that's not the way we're doing it. So you said to that mind, I call it the left brain going to edit everything in according to what's right in from a survival point of view. So you put that, you said to the mind, we're not going to do it anymore. And you pause. And the pause, from what I hear, gave you the opportunity to say, well, if I'm not going to do it that way, what is the way that I want to have? What do I want to have happen in my life? How do I want to be or feel or whatever? So that pause, that's a very important and simple process, isn't it? A technique or tool or action.
It's not simple at first. It's a
Right.
brand new reconditioning, reprogramming, so to speak. Instead of somebody else doing the programming, I'm taking the intention and saying, no, mind, we're not doing that anymore. We're not allowing these emotions to get all riled up and take us nowhere but back to those emotions that are all riled up. Um, so yeah, the pause is powerful, but it took and sometimes it still takes convincing of my mind. Thank you for being so thorough, mind. I do love you, and we're not doing that way anymore. Sometimes lately, my mind has reminded me, well, those are the muscles telling me that memory. I'm like, okay, well, thank you, body. We're not doing that anymore. Release that, purge it on out. And this is what we're doing. We're allowing, we're allowing my inner wisdom to be the leader. Well, how do you do that if you're not in touch with your inner wisdom?
Good point.
Well, it didn't matter at the time because that's what the inner wisdom said. So I'm like, okay, well, we're doing that. I don't know what that means. I don't know how that looks like. But I'm going to the river.
Mhm.
And so that is how it has become to look like, to go out into nature and just be, observe, and connect, not just with Gaia, but with the trees, with the bugs, with whatever comes into my presence.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then whatever happens, happens, but it's different from what the brain loop had me doing for the first 45, 50 years.
And like you said, I use the word simple, and you're right. It's simple to look at.
Mhm.
Applying it takes commitment. And there are times, especially at first, it might take a lot of commitment, when you're starting something new, but it's called self-responsibility. I'm responsible for how my life goes forward from this point on, which means you have to say that, the inner wisdom, how do you get in touch with that? And then I find also, then even when that path begins to open easily, there are times when all of a sudden there is another piece. I call it the crisis awareness walk. It's like, oh, there it is. And it's going back to being committed to getting through that particular phase with that new choice that you're making from your own self responsibility. I'm accountable, and I'm working with this energy. And for you, Gaia and nature has been really, really important. Is that correct?
Yeah, very important. It's a relationship, it's reciprocal, it it blesses me, that
Mhm.
relationship. Um, and I want others to have that same blessing, to receive it. But I don't know why there's a but there, because that's on them. I can just offer what I offer. People make their choices.
Talk about, let's just make a hypothetical situation. When your day is going along in pretty well fashion, and all of a sudden something happens. This is common for all of us, and those old feelings, emotions, thoughts pop up, and they are very strong. They are, in my experience, they're very strong. It's like they've been well honed to keep you safe, and sometimes they're very strong in not letting you get out of their helping hands. And so when something like that happens, you probably may not be out in nature. So
No.
in relationship, and you recognize what's going on, through, walk, walk us through what that looks like for you.
It looks like I feel something in my body, like irritation, frustration, or absurdity. Now, my mind in the beginning wanted to just say, those are judgments. Stop judging.
Mhm.
Just shut that down. Um, we judge all the time. It, I, it's just a word. It's more of a sensing. It's discerning. Um, so if I feel something in my body, like, I mean, so a memory being in the grocery store is coming, and I'm in line, which is not my favorite place to be. But I'm in line, and in the register line next to me is two older white men speaking very loud about how they've lost their rights, how they're losing, all their rights are being taken. And it just fills me up, this absurdity that the beings who hold the most power by the imbalance of power are feeling that their rights are being taken. So they have nothing to do with me, but that became present in my field. So, and so did the irritation and absurdity of it all. So I don't want to take that with me, but it came for a reason, and I honor my body and I honor it as my greatest informer. So, okay, what are you trying to tell me here, body? Well, you are telling me something, body. What are you telling me? Um, and in that situation, it was telling me that they don't have any effect on your value. And what I felt was devalued because of the indifferent power, the power indifferentiation. So I was reminded that their conversation had nothing to do with my worth, and my tending of my worth is mine to tend. So then I just, in that situation, I could not wait to get out of the store. But during the time that the pleasantries with the cashier, I'm talking with my team. I'm talking with my highest self, with my star team, with um I don't know who all they are.
Mhm.
I don't need to. They're helpful. I tune in. I ask that um well, I ask that any imbalanced energies be sent to a triage to be filtered and to bless those people that I was receiving this message because of overhearing them. Please bless them. Thank you. And I just purge it, ask that it's purged out so that I can receive more of what that message is really about. And the whole message was about tending my own worth. But I would have never gotten there if I didn't s- stop abandoning myself, right? If I didn't tune into what is this happening, it happened in the beginning of my life, it happened all the time, and that's just what it was. That's just life. As if I had no power, no no say in how life was going to be, no relationship with life. So then, when I'm in the car, I also do meditation, prayer, whatever, and continue to cleanse and then ask to be filled, well, restored to home energy, and before I'm even home, it's gone. And the main difference in all that story that I just told you is how that situation would have happened, would have looped in my mind as those blah blah blahs, and then I would have carried that energy, that story, to tell somebody else about this crap. None of that happened. It's not the energy I want to move forward. So becoming centered within myself, and it's not just my team. Gaia is part of my team. So it's also connecting with her and receiving from her what she has for that specific situation for me. And I don't just get answers that day. That's not how that works, dang it.
Yeah. The way I've seen that um, is it's like there's an energy that we emit in our life, and it's being emitted all over the world all the time. The violence, the murders, the abuse, the pain, the scary, whatever that individuals feel creates an energy vibration that is now part of air. And And so it's not only our own past situations, but sometimes it's just an energy that comes into our space, that you can't pinpoint why. Like you knew where it was coming from, the conversation. And here's an energy cloud. I'll just say an energy cloud. And you decided what to do with the energy field, a cloud. You could have absorbed that cloud as real. And like you said, then you would have shared it with others. You would have, and eventually it would have come back to you in your life in some concrete way. That the energy, when we feel it or sense it from however it comes to us, it's still energy. And having awareness and commitment. Do I want it? Do I not want it? Do I want to pass it on? Do I not want to pass it on? Do I live it? Do I not want to live it? As that point of personal responsibility, taking back this is my life, and I am going to decide how that works. Yeah, so valuable in today's world, always valuable, but in today's world, really, really important.
Yeah, I see myself as a human engaged with waking up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of words out there that just fly by that people, I don't know, whatever. I'm living as a living transmission. What comes in, I decide what goes out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in sacred collaboration,
Right,
I decide.
right.
It's it's not my mind deciding. It's my whole self and my team and what's going to be best for me to be energy waves for humanity.
Good point. So, what would be one message that you would place? We're the elders, and there's generations coming up after us. And more and more, there's that understanding that the elders have experiential wisdom. What would be your message to place into those hands of the next generation of visionaries that might help them step a little bit sooner? Like I was probably 45 when I woke up. Maybe they'll wake up by the time they're 30 or 20. Stay with, what would you say?
I would say, I would say claim your sacredness.
Mm.
Tune in with your sovereign authority. Feel into what feels true for you, not what we've been conditioned to believe is true, but what is my body? How is my body reacting to that? And a question that has helped me reflect back to me is what is it about me that got so activated about? Or what is it about me that got so excited about? There was a point in my life where I could not distinguish excitement from anxiety, felt the same, so called it anxiety. I'm grateful there's a distinction now.
Yeah, like that. So, listeners, that there you can connect with Kris, and she has a lot of wisdom that she's sharing. She has a Substack. She has a YouTube channel. And what really touched me as a short story that she just recently wrote that we'll have the link to, and you see how it touches you. So, Kris, thank you so much for being here with us today. You inspire. The threads that you have followed, you have created more threads to be followed. So, I just want to say to those listeners, trust stirrings. They're the beginning of a new world. look for them, ask for them. Like you say, what is it that excites me? Yes, more. What is it that shuts me down? No, no more of that. So thank you, Kris, for being here.
Thank you, Grandmother Sharon.
And we invite listeners to come back for each episode of our Weaving New Paths and share with others. We are indeed at the point of weaving the world new. Blessings.
6.
And to our valued listeners, thank you for being with us here in the sacred space of sovereignty, inquiry, and inspiration. As you explore our guests' work, may you also feel the quiet stirring of your own gift, asking to come alive. The world is shifting, and your unique thread of weaving is essential in that great tapestry. If this conversation nourished you, inspired you, pass it along to others who are seeking hope, direction, and also dreaming a new world into being. We invite you back for the next episode of Weaving New Paths, where together we will continue opening the doors to new ways of seeing, being, and collaborating. Until then, blessings.